Did you know that the most effective method of male self-control can become your worst enemy if you don't understand its dangers? Every powerful experience has a dark side, and semen retention is no exception. While this practice is known to free energy, improve discipline, and bring a man closer to his true nature, a darker, more subtle power also lurks beneath the surface. We often go unnoticed until it manifests in our thoughts, relationships, and spirit. Most people talk about the benefits, how we attract women, feel powerful, or radiate confidence, but few honestly talk about the hidden pitfalls, the ego that creeps in, the pride that separates us from others, the loneliness that oppresses the soul, and the spiritual confusion that clouds our purpose. It's a path that can elevate you, but if you're not careful, it can also isolate you. I want to share this truth with you, not to scare you, but to help you walk this path more wisely. Sperm preservation, at its essence, is about mastering desire. When a man learns to control his most primal urges, he unlocks something sacred within himself: discipline, clarity, and a profound sense of inner power. But this is where the first problem begins. With great power comes the temptation to feel superior. A man withholding power might look around and see others as weaker or less developed. He might say to himself, "I don't look at pornography, I don't chase women, I'm not like those quiet guys." And before you know it, you've fallen into the trap of ego. Ironically, this is precisely what you were meant to overcome by holding back. The very practice that was supposed to make you humble and strong has now inflated your pride. Spiritual pride is one of the most dangerous illusions to guard against, because it tricks you into believing you see more clearly than ever before. It whispers to you that you are chosen, that you are above all, that you have found the truth, and that everyone else is asleep. But in reality, you are just another human being, lost in another fantasy, wrapped in spirituality, discipline, and control. As this pride grows, something else begins to happen. You begin to isolate yourself and lose touch with others. You break off friendships because they aren't right for you. You avoid social situations because those around you sap your energy. You feel misunderstood, perhaps even superior, but deep down you feel alone. This isn't the strength of the lone wolf, but the sadness of a disconnected mind. And this isolation, if left unaddressed, can turn the journey into a silent prison. What began as personal growth turns into isolation. You wake up full of energy, yes, but no one can share it with you. You move forward with determination, but no one is by your side. It's not about spiritual growth, but emotional hunger. Then comes confusion. Holding the seed isn't just a physical exercise. It connects the mind, heart, and soul. You may begin to experience vivid dreams, emotional outbursts, and surges of energy that overwhelm you. You may feel your urges returning stronger than ever and wonder, why am I still tempted when I'm growing? Or you may begin to see many spiritual signs and symbols everywhere. Synchronicities, feelings of destiny, and the question of whether one is losing one's mind or finding enlightenment. In reality, the mind is awakening, but like a newborn, it doesn't yet know what it sees. It is at this stage that many sink into spiritual confusion. They view every emotion as a sign, every impulse as an attack, every thought as divine. This opens the door to paranoia, disorientation, and emotional instability. Without a solid foundation, the practice can become mystical and confusing, rather than peaceful and empowering. You might even begin to believe you're above your emotions. You repress your sadness, deny your loneliness, or hide your pain behind a mask of control. But all of this eventually boils over, sometimes in the form of anger, sometimes emotional exhaustion. Many men suffering from restrictions experience periods of deep frustration. They wonder why they feel stuck, anxious, or emotionally numb. They may even relapse, not out of desire, but out of emotional overload. They want to escape their thoughts, to feel something, but this isn't weakness. It's the desire for balance of body and soul. So how do we protect ourselves from these traps? How do we walk the path of seed storage without sinking into selfishness, isolation, or confusion? The solution isn't to give up. The solution is to stay humble, connected, and aware. Humility is your best protection. You must remind yourself every day that you are not better than others simply by holding back. You are not a chosen one, an elite, or an awakened person. You are a human being doing your best to control yourself. And that's it. Moderation is not a trophy. It's a tool. It doesn't make you a god. It reminds you that you are still human. Every impulse you feel, every difficulty you overcome, is not evidence of failure, but of your continued growth. The moment you believe you've accomplished something, you stop learning. The moment you believe yourself superior to others, you fail to reach your true potential. Stay humble, speak kindly, and help others without lecturing. Remember that the quietest person in the room may be more disciplined than you. Let this help keep you grounded. Connection is your second anchor. You can't walk this path alone. Yes, protect your energy, but don't isolate yourself from the world. Find brothers and sisters who are also on this path. Engage in conversations that stimulate your mind and uplift your soul. Spend time with people who don't hinder you, but nourish you. This will help you stay human and remind you that this path is not about separation, but about integration. You are not meant to become a monk in a cave. You are meant to become a strong man who lives in the world without obsessing over it. Connection keeps you grounded and gives your energy meaning. Because what good is becoming powerful if you never use it to uplift someone else? The third key is awareness. You must study your own thinking. Observe your impulses without fear. Question your thoughts without believing them all. If a strong sexual urge dominates you, don't be afraid. Don't feel guilty. Face it and question yourself. Maybe it's not desire, loneliness, weakness. Maybe your body is craving movement, breathing, or creativity. Every impulse is a message, not a monster. When spiritual confusion arises, stop and read books of wisdom. Talk to sensible people. Don't be fooled by signs. Seek truth, not mystical experiences. Seek clarity. You are not crazy. You are now more sensitive. You feel more, you perceive better. And this can be overwhelming, but it is also a blessing. You are not broken. You are being refined. One of the most powerful things you can do to support yourself is to help others. Serve. Use that energy to help others. Teach, create, listen, build. Nothing humbles the ego like serving. Nothing heals isolation like helping. Nothing clears confusion like action. The more you hold on to yourself, the more energy you will feel. But that energy must flow outward. If it stays locked inside you, it turns against you. If it flows outward, it becomes a purpose. Use your energy to build something meaningful in your body, your business, your relationships, and your faith. This will keep you healthy. This is how to stay strong. Moderation does not mean becoming superhuman, but fully human. A man who controls his desires is not a god, but a servant of his destiny, a servant of truth, a servant of love. He walks in silence without superiority. He faces his darkness without shame. Accept its power with grace and remember that, even on the highest path, the greatest danger is forgetting where you came from. It's important to understand that semen retention isn't a modern practice invented by internet gurus. It has its roots in ancient spiritual traditions. Chinese Taoists spoke of yin, the life essence that is maintained through the maintenance of the body. Hindu yogis understood the concept of brahmacharya, not only as abstinence, but also as the preservation and transformation of sexual energy for higher purposes. However, in the digital age, this ancient practice has been distorted and simplified. Social media is full of exaggerated promises. Persevere for 30 days and you'll attract women like a magnet. Perseverance gives you superpowers. You'll be irresistible. These statements create unrealistic expectations that lead to disappointment and, worse, the development of a toxic mindset. The true transformation that perseverance offers isn't external, but internal. It's not about attracting women or dominating others. It's about dominating yourself. Sexual energy is one of the most powerful forces in human beings. By learning to channel it consciously, you not only control your urges, but you also achieve an unimaginable level of vitality and mental clarity. But there's another danger: obsessing over your withholding days. Many men turn training into a competition with themselves or with others. They count the days as an honor, and when they relapse, they become mired in guilt and shame. This all-or-nothing mentality is counterproductive. True mastery isn't measured by the number of consecutive days without ejaculation. It's measured by the ability to maintain emotional balance, mental clarity, and spiritual connection. Whether there's been a relapse or not, a truly strong man isn't defined by his longest streak, but by your ability to get back up after every fall, without judgment, without drama, simply with renewed determination. Another important aspect rarely discussed is the impact on intimate relationships. If you're in a relationship, this restriction can lead to unexpected tensions. Your partner may feel rejected or disoriented by your new practice. It's important to communicate your intentions openly and find ways to maintain emotional and physical intimacy without compromising your practice. Moderation doesn't mean avoiding women or repressing your natural sexuality. It's about developing a more conscious and less coercive relationship with your sexual energy. You can maintain close relationships and express physical affection while practicing moderation. The key lies in intention and awareness, not total repression. It's also important to recognize that moderation can amplify other aspects of your personality, both positive and negative. If you're prone to anxiety, moderation may exacerbate it at first. If you struggle with anger, you might feel more irritable at first. This doesn't mean this practice is bad for you. It simply means you're awakening dormant energies and need time to learn how to manage them. The key lies in developing complementary practices, such as meditation, intense physical activity, creative work, and interaction with others. These activities help channel pent-up energy constructively. Without these healthy outlets, this energy can become destructive and manifest as aggression, arrogance, or emotional instability. Also keep in mind that every person is unique. What works for others may not work for you. Some people benefit from long periods of total retention, while others benefit from shorter, more conscious cycles. There is no one-size-fits-all formula. Your task is to consciously experiment, observe your body and mind, and adapt your practice to your individual needs. Never forget that attachment is a means to an end. The goal is not to become a perfectly attached person, but to become a more whole, conscious and loving person. If your practice is taking you away from these goals, it's time to rethink your approach. Walk this path with patience, humility, and wisdom. Always remember that true power lies in knowing when to let go and also when to hold on.